Bayou Savage, Guitar Ghost Fighter, The Resurrection. Chapter 1. Bayou sat on an old bar stool collected from one of his favorite gigs and one of his favorite saloons a long time ago. The seat and back were comfortable, with plenty of room to move around. He was up the mountain in his secluded two-bedroom cabin, gazing at the full moon through the oversized skylight. The carved wooden sign at the base of the steep driveway proclaimed the territory as Saints Haven. Bayou named the mountaintop after his favorite football team from the city where he was born. He was the consummate fan. The 6x8 sliding glass doors offered a panoramic view of the Great Smoky Mountains and overlooked the historic little burg of Waynesville, North Carolina. At night, he could have just as well been overlooking the sparkle of San Francisco, except the sidewalks of Waynesville were promptly rolled up at about 8 o'clock. Bayou's left hand slid across the silver strings of the old guitar, coaxing a gentle melody from the talisman. The aging fingers of the last Guitar Ghost Fighter savored the feel of the pure and extraordinary wires. Silver somehow boosted the guitar's power, but he'd never figured out how or why. His crystal blue eyes, set in a laugh-line face, complemented a trim 6-foot frame. His compulsive runner's regimen gave him the sinewy build and stamina required for the years he spent on one stage or another as a musician or corporate auditor. His dedication to improving the international corporate environment required many hours on the road, in the air, and on his feet. Bayou's discipline came in handy when the Institute had recruited him. Bayou was the son of the first Guitar Ghost Fighter, Razor Savage, and on the very short list of Guitar Ghost Fighters in the Institute's history. He had been a respectful, if somewhat grudging, soldier to his commanding father. Razor was the best ghost fighter ever to walk among the handful of guardians with the power of a musical talisman. Now there was only one. There were hundreds of agents in the history of the GDI. 90% of the Ghost Defense Institute recruits never made the cut. Only the strongest and the very able made it through Quirk's sadistic training. Bayou groaned, reliving the memory. Quirk was the first special agent at the Institute. After his promotion to director, he made damn sure that only the best applicants qualified for field agent status. He figured losing a hand wasn't the only way to learn the trade. The School of Hard Knocks had been his alma mater. He didn't see any reason for it to be anybody else's. Quirk was hell on new agents, but the screening process had paid for itself. Try wasn't a word in Quirk's vocabulary. Do or don't were the standards he set and lived by. There wasn't room for much gray in Quirk's world. Every detail was either black or white. Consequently, the score was terribly lopsided. More ghosts than agents had passed into the netherworld because of Quirk's unrelenting standards.